You know, some stories start with a simple mistake. This one, it started with pure arrogance. A late-night scroll, a few drinks, and this boneheaded desire to prove someone wrong. And it ended? Well, it ended with a phone call you pray you never get and a creation that never, ever should have existed. Okay, let's dive into a story that peels back a layer of the internet most of us only ever hear about in whispers.
It's a question we all ask ourselves, right? Usually to kind of wave off our fears. But in this story, the answer wasn't a simple scam or some cheap jump scare. No. The worst that could happen was that the boogeyman was real. And our guy? He just placed an order for one.
See, the person at the center of all this, he didn't believe in the boogeyman. To him, the dark web was just a myth, a scary story people tell to keep you in line. His parents, on the other hand, they were terrified of it. They talked about it like if you even said its name too loud, a hacker would magically appear at your doorstep. So, to prove them wrong, to show them how paranoid they were being, he did something incredibly simple. He downloaded the Tor browser and uninstalled Chrome.
This really captures his whole attitude. He didn't see the dark web as some digital no man's land. For him, it was just a kinda cooler, more private version of the normal internet. A place for social media, shopping, even pirated movies. He even found out Facebook has a site on there. It was all pretty boring, really, and he felt completely vindicated. But that confidence, it was about to be shattered into a million pieces. So, the night everything changed, he was just coming home after having a few drinks with his best friend Jared. He was feeling a little nostalgic, scrolling through old photos online, and you know how it is. You click one thing, then another, and you fall down a rabbit hole. He landed on this really old post, a list titled Most Exciting Websites on Darkweb. Now, most of the sites on that list were just whatever. But one of them caught his eye. It had no reviews, no comments, nothing to even hint at what it was, just this strange, intriguing link. And this, right here, is where a simple prank on his best friend took a sharp turn into the truly unbelievable. So of course, he clicks the link. The website was stark, super simple, almost elegant, in that edgy, emo kid kind of way, Just white text on a black background. And at the top, a banner read, "Call your monsters." He actually smiled. He thought it was cute, just a gimmick. He clicked a few more links and landed on a page that said, "Order a monster." Get this. The site claimed you could design your own personalized monster, and they would send it to any address you wanted. They even guaranteed same-day shipping. And the price for all this? A surprisingly low $99. He figured, okay, this has to be some network of actors in costumes, right? Just waiting for a gig. A perfect surprise. It seemed like a whole lot of fun. But this was the line that sealed the deal for him. Below the main text, in this tiny font, was this darkly funny tagline. He literally laughed out loud. The idea was absolute gold. And who did he immediately think of? His friend Jared. He thought, this is going to be a hilarious way to mess with him. So he clicked, "Order a monster." The customization page was like something straight out of a video game. He was picking the body type, the subspecies, even a special power. And under the mouth category, there were all these options like fangs, broken teeth, and then one that was just so bizarre it felt perfect. Too many teeth. He clicked it, chose a bunch of other strange things, and for the final step, the message, he kept it simple. He just typed one word, boo.
So once he finalized the design, the page refreshed. And this is where the fun and games started to feel different. The playful little prank was about to become a really unsettling ritual.
All of a sudden, his own face is staring back at him from a live feed of his webcam right there on the site. He was totally shocked. Then, a red text box appears. "Perform a ritual for us." The instructions were just weird. Prick your thumb till a drop of blood comes out, suck on it, and then say the target's name out loud. Now, instead of being creeped out, he was actually excited. He thought it was genius. Like, what an immersive experience for the sender, too. So he goes to the kitchen, grabs a knife, makes this little cut on his thumb, and just proudly announces the name, Jared Mayhew. The screen immediately changed. Order complete. Delivery in progress. He just leaned back, sipped his beer, imagining Jared's reaction. But just a few minutes later, the screen went black and then flashed a new message, delivery complete. And this is the moment his skepticism came rushing back. I mean, it was impossible. How could you custom make and ship a monster across the country in 5 minutes? It had to be a scam.
So he's just disappointed, he shuts his laptop and goes to bed. But a little while later, his phone buzzes. And this
This is where the prank became a real-time nightmare.
It was an email from Monster Call from an email address he'd never even provided. The subject read, "Order delivered. Click here to view results." He's a little drunk, pretty confused, and he makes one more fateful mistake. He clicks the link. A video starts loading on his phone, and he realizes this isn't a recording. It's a live stream of Jared's house. His heart starts pounding. He decides to call Jared to ask if he got his little surprise. Jared answers, but his voice is just this terrified whisper. "Bro, help," he says. "Someone is inside my..." And then the line just goes dead. At the exact same time on the video feed, he sees these red stains start to spread across the curtains of Jared's window.
He hears a woman scream. The window shatters, and a figure emerges from inside the house, and it was not a person in a costume. This thing was huge, standing at least 8 feet tall. It had these massive, bat-like wings and 4 muscular arms that were just clenching and unclenching into fists. The figure looked horrifyingly familiar.
And then he saw its mouth. And he knew. In that split second, he knew this was not a prank. This was not an actor. The creature staring back at him from his phone screen was the exact monster he had designed. It had too many teeth.
The live stream ended in this total blur of chaos and screams. He tried to convince himself it was all just an elaborate special effects prank, that he'd wake up and everything would be back to normal. But the next morning, his phone rang, and the cold, horrifying reality just came crashing down on him.
It was Jared's father. And through these awful sobs, he delivered the news. Someone had broken into Jared's home. Jared and his wife were gone. But they weren't just killed. They were tortured, mauled. The police said the weapon was some kind of sharp, tooth-like object. It looked like they had been chewed.
His joke, his stupid prank, it had destroyed an entire family. He was living a nightmare, just drowning in a guilt he could never escape. But Jared's father had one more detail to share. One final chilling piece of evidence that tied it all straight back to him. He told them that the attacker, this psychopath, had left a note. A single, nonsensical word just written down and left behind at that horrific scene.
His blood ran cold. He asked what the note said. Jared's father told him the word made no sense at all. The word was boo, the exact message he had typed for his monster.
The real story, the true story, it's known only to him. And he shares it now as a desperate warning to anyone who, like he did, thinks the dark corners of the internet are just a game. His final message is simple and clear. Don't go.
So what really happened that night? Was it all just an impossibly elaborate prank using advanced AI and maybe some local criminals? Was it a horrifying tragic coincidence? Or did he truly summon a monster from the digital abyss with just a few clicks and a drop of blood? I guess that's the question we're left with, isn't it?